Okay, so welcome back. What we're going to do now is work through the solution to the problem that we posed, which is this. You own a rectangular piece of land. The L-shaped grey part is woodland and the rectangular white part is pasture. Explain with justification how to build a single straight fence which divides the pasture in half and the woodland in half. There are no dimensions given and you must not measure the diagram. Okay, so I hope you had a chance to think about that yourself and to solve it. If not, please pause now and have a think. Most people do realise when they've got the right solution to this, but I'm going to go through one way to think about this problem and how to solve it now. Right, so I think the first approach to this is just to make sure we understand what we need to do. So we need to draw a single straight fence. Okay, so that's a single straight line that goes through the diagram. And we need to divide the white part in half, and we also need to divide the grey part in half. So with lots of problems like this, part of it looks fairly easy and part of it is a bit more difficult. So in particular, the rectangular part is relatively easy to divide in half. Okay, so, and in particular, what we can say for sure is that any line which divides the white part in half must go through the centre of the rectangle. Okay, so let's just find the centre of that rectangle. And we know that any line which divides that rectangle in half must go through that point. And any line that doesn't go through that point does not divide the rectangle in half. Okay, so we have now narrowed down the solution to the whole problem. Any solution to the whole problem must go through that point. Right, so in a very real sense, we're halfway to the solution of the problem, because a line that goes through two specified points is determined uniquely. So we've got one point, so we can actually rotate the line around that point. Right? We know any solution to the problem must go through P. Now this is a good moment to think about whether a solution to this problem exists at all. Right? So let's just think about that. This line, this diagonal, has all of the grey area on one side of it. And as I rotate this line, it starts to have some grey area over here and some grey area over here. And I continue rotating the line around. And as I have rotated this through half a complete rotation, we've now got all the grey area on this side of the line and none of the grey area on this side of the line. And that was a kind of continuous process, wasn't it? We start here, we're increasing the amount of grey area on this side of the line until all of it is on this side of the line. We start from 0. If we have an angle theta, we start from 0, we kind of go up to 1, and at some point we must pass through half. So there is an angle at which half of the area must be on one side of the line and the other half of the area on the other side of the line. Okay, so we're confident, I think, at this point that the solution to the problem exists, or rather this problem has a solution, and because the area appears to increase as we rotate the line, right, there's going to be one solution. So the question is, where is it? Okay, where is that line and how do we find it? So we need to locate another point through which to draw our line. Well, we also, let's think about what the solution is. If we've got the solution, then we will have divided the pasture in half, and we will have divided the woodland in half. So we will have in fact have divided the whole shape in half. Now the whole shape is another rectangle. And if we've divided the whole shape in half, we can use the trick that we used before, and we can find the centre of the whole rectangle. And a line through this point, I'll call it Q, will divide the whole rectangle in half. And in fact, any line through Q will divide the whole rectangle in half, and any line not through Q will not divide the whole rectangle in half. So let's consider the line joining P and Q. Okay. So this line certainly divides the pasture in half because it goes through P, and it divides the whole area in half because it goes through Q, and so it must divide the grey woodland in half as well. And that's the solution to the problem. I hope you got that. I hope you enjoyed it. We've got more problems to come. If you didn't quite get that answer, don't worry. These are for fun, and there are lots of other problems coming along. Good luck with the next problem, and there we go.